All right, welcome back to The Horror with Mike
and Nate.
On this episode, we are going to be going into Scream, the TV show, Episode 3. This is going to include recap, analysis, and review, so spoilers, of course, ahead. I'll go ahead and kick a little bit of this off, we'll go through it and talk about it as it comes up. One thing that's interesting is this episode was not written by the Jill Blumenthal or whatever, and Jamie, who have become kind of like the showrunners, and everyone said that they were writing every episode. This episode was actually written by Jordan Rosenberg and Meredith Glenn. So we're getting new writers in there, which I'm all for.
Definitely.
And I think it showed, because we'll get to that. But anyway, this episode was directed by Tim Hunter, who directed last episodes. And I had to look him up, because I'm like, this guy's doing pretty well, considering the other episodes of things that I've been watching. He's also done Wayward Pines, Gotham, Hannibal. He did the Cello Throat Killer one from Season 1. American Horror Story Season 1, Dexter, Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, the guy has directed for.
He's a TV veteran.
Yeah, Deadwood, Carnival, my personal favorite, Erie, Indiana, and fucking Twin Peaks.
Nice.
So this guy knows his shit. And it's starting to come across a little bit that the guy does know his shit, because when the horror kicks in and just everything's starting to feel a little bit more synergized. So what we open on is Halloween night 1994. We get our first two kills in the first flashback, other than a quick one in episode 1, to the Brandon James actually murdering motherfuckers.
Right.
He slits this one big-titty lady's throat and sticks a stick through another guy's eyes. Pretty nice, bloody, gnarly kills.
You know, I first of all, because I don't want to come off as a negative Nelly, I think the episode picked up from there. But like that opening kill scene was Z-grade direct-to-DVD slash.
Oh, wait, that doesn't matter to me.
It was awful. Like, I hated that intro.
Oh, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I was just happy we were getting flashbacks to Brandon James stuff.
Yeah.
It excited me. I don't give a shit how it was handled. Like, truthfully,
really? You don't?
Dude, not the beginning. I didn't care. Like, we know. It was better than last week's.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, so I thought that was pretty cool. We cut to the Grindhouse. Did you notice that? I meant to mention that. That the coffee house Emma works at is called the Grindhouse.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you get one for that. At least that's something horror. Which brings me to a problem overall with this episode. Horror movies seem not to exist in this world. No one ever talks about even classics. Nothing. Ever. They don't watch them, they don't talk about them, they don't exist. That kind of bothers me. Anyway, so the only at Gale Weathers part that we get, like she hasn't become pivotal at all.
Not at all.
Is basically her just listening to at Jamie Kennedy tell this story. And it actually had a pretty nice line. That's what I'm saying. The writers might be getting a little bit better, because it actually had a line that was worth hearing for once, which is where she's like, what do you think made him blow up that night? And he says, a bomb doesn't become a bomb when its fuse is lit.
Right.
Which I thought was really pretty cool.
That character is actually really picking up for me.
Yeah, he's growing. All of them are pretty much growing on me.
Unlike several of the characters for me, he stands out. Like, I actually know that guy's name is Noah now.
Right.
And like the other two main dudes, I just think of them as, oh, those are the bad guys. Those are the guys that are obviously crooked and into some shit, and I know we'll get into that. Did you delete that stuff that we've been doing that was bad with Nina, the girl that just died? So obviously, I think of them as the bad, and I'm not dissing them. I'm just they're the bad guys, and I actually remember this kid Noah's name now.
Yeah, I think we might be running into a problem that I'm getting way too fucking into the show now, so I'm going to get way too
I'm actually surprised
you
could get that into it.
I don't know, man. I love me some Scream, man.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to like the characters, and I'm starting to get into the mythology and trying to figure out who the killer is and stuff. And one thing I do like about the Will and Jake, by the way, Jake's like the...
is he the farmer or the
Will's
non-farmer?
The farmer. Okay. Will is actually showing some slight shades to his character, which I'll take even just a little bit that he, But then we get autopsy. They talk about blah, blah, blah. Emma gets a text message that says, "Morning, sunshine. Did you and Mom have a heart-to-heart yet?" Yuck, 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 yuck. Get it? Heart-to-heart. But it was sent to her from Twitter. Again, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
From Brandon James 94. Like, motherfucker, just trace this goddamn Twitter account. Whatever. Yeah, and Will and Jake, they're starting this whole thing where it's like, they're alluding to the fact that they ran something with Tyler, who got his head chopped off in that first episode, that they were like filming girls and making money off of it, blah, blah, blah. Some about being blackmailed or blackmailing Nina. I think they said they were being blackmailed by Nina.
Yeah, I wasn't real clear on that, but something hinky things are afoot.
Yeah. And then we go Rachel's wake. Audrey goes up to Rachel's bedroom and tries to hang herself from the ceiling fan. Emma stops her. She says she was just trying to see if it was possible to even do that. And then there was one interesting part in this scene where Emma says something to the point of like, I don't know, maybe that she's lying about something, and Audrey specifically says you're doing your hair twirl thing.
Right.
And so it's like, what does that mean, and what does that say about her character? That should be interesting. There's some interesting stuff in the bathroom with the blondie chick using Nina's lipstick, which is weird. Talking about carrying on the legacy, whatever.
I wouldn't have gone so far as to call it interesting, but it definitely happened.
Well, the thing is because she's like, I can't believe Nina's gone, and the other two give each other like really strange looks. And she's like, oh, well, she's here with us here in spirit. I'm like, don't fucking pull that bullshit, because we still haven't seen we've seen Rachel's dead body, when a show specifically will show you one person's dead body, but not another person's. It's like, because it's like, all right, who is technically seen? Her dead, the parents. Well, you could have killed the parents too, or something. Don't pull that bullshit show. Like, that would be a cheat.
Nina's body has been found, right? They put that in the like last week on where the parents find the body. So we haven't heard anything about her body disappearing. Tyler's the only one they haven't found.
Emma and Kieran, who I call Hair Guy, which that's actually something, is Emma, I would assume, is named after Emma and Kieran are, spoiler alert, the killers from Scream 4, Kieran Culkin and Emma Roberts.
Oh, yeah, that's cute. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, that is pretty cute. I'm wondering, I'm like, what the fuck is up with that shit? But anyway, they look through the case files and we get our first shot of what Brandon James looked like. Mm-hmm. He looked like Eric Stoltz from Mask.
Pretty much exactly.
Pretty much exactly. I was like, okay, so that's where we're going on that one. So then there's some other drama crap. There was a lot less drama, I thought, in this episode. There were very few scenes where they bothered to stop.
There were a lot fewer scenes set in the main hallway of the high school.
Yeah.
Which was about half
drama
of that.
central, yeah. The two girls, Audrey's like, we'll text the killer back. We'll see what happens. So Emma does, and like 4 fucking days later, the killer messages back and says, I got your DM. I'm like, fuck this fucking killer.
Yeah.
Like, even the killer uses fucking language like that.
Well, yeah, and where Audrey's line, which made me howl, which is like, well, let's direct message his ass back.
Right?
I'm like, oh, that sounds... There's no incarnation of that. Like, Charles Bronson could say it in his prime, and it wouldn't be tough.
Remember also what I said. Episode 3, 25 minutes into a movie, let's get him.
Yeah.
Fuck. We're in trouble, man. Anyway, so then fucking Jamie Kennedy works at a comic book, nerd store. There's video
some
games,
sort of
comic books, vinyl records.
Yeah, records. So,
it's just, literally, it's a nerd store. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know video stores don't exist anymore, but couldn't there at least be He's serial killer obsessed. Couldn't he have had pictures?
Right.
Serial killer memorabilia. What is this video? He's just a nerd for all they care.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. What are you going to do? He almost gets laid, and then the chick gets called away, which is fucking stupid.
By Tyler, who we know is dead, but no one else knows is dead.
Yeah, and they even have a part later in the police station where it's like, yeah, we traced the call. It did come from Tyler. And everyone's like, oh, well, that me? And then Emma specifically asked to say, but couldn't have somebody else have used his phone? And the sheriff's like, that's possible. I'm like, course that's possible.
And then Riley, I love that part because that's when Riley, who seems to be pretty smart, jumps in and says, listen, I know him, and he needs our help. All his text said was, help me, exclamation point.
Yeah, and they slightly allude to maybe that she had hooked up with him in the past. It's just so silly. It really gets into the stupid slasher stuff, which I've learned to love, and I just love slashers so much that even if this is fucking PG slasher, I'm still it's still keeping me fairly happy with everything that she does some really stupid shit just to serve her ends. So anyway, yeah, she gets called away. They all meet up. Brooke got a text too, which plays into the whole thing that this was pretty cool. The killer sends Emma a message. It's like, if you don't want to play games anymore, then you have to choose which one of your friends dies. Which led to an interesting little part between her and her mom, where her mom says, well, I'll alert the sheriff. And Emma gets this seriously, like, oh shit, like, look on her face, and hurries up and texts the killer and is like, don't hurt my friends. Like, they're coming for you. Don't hurt my friends, is what I took it as, because I still think Emma's involved with the whole thing. Don't hurt my friends. And it's like, she calls Riley. All right, I know where Riley is. We can go save her. Do not hurt Brooke. So it's go get Riley because she's alone right now.
In the police station.
Yeah, which is fucking stupid. But, of course, like in Halloween 2, there's nobody in the fucking hospital when there's...
Right.
Whatever. But again, I don't mind this shit, man. It's fine. The cops go to the park to try and catch the killer, and there was a really cool, like, note with it. Now Ghostface is leaving, like, Who Watches the Watchmen? Like, Rorschach shit.
He's got an emblem.
Yeah, he has his own fucking emblem and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like... Well, whatever. I can go with it.
It's called
again.
branding. It works for the Avengers. Everybody has their own symbol, so now I do too.
I can go with that. I'm fine.
You know, but I got to point out though,
Okay.
you're fine with all this because it's under the name of Scream. You wouldn't accept this shit if it was under a different name. You totally would.
We'll get to this. We'll get to that. So anyway, this was fucking stupid. So anyway, yeah, the girl gets the text, come out back of the station. And, like, quick as fucking shit, she just, okay, boom, and goes into the dark fucking part. Again, slashers, gotta love it. What's his name? Tyler's awesome muscle car shows back up. I'm like, fuck yeah, the killer's gonna drive around in a muscle car. Which then the next scene blows up. I'm like, why do you gotta blow up? Kill all the characters you want. Why blow up?
Leave the car alone.
Why couldn't he have chased people down in the fuck... Like, how...
The Scream Mobile. I'm with it.
Yeah, that would have been badass. But anyway, so she starts to climb away. There's a pretty good scene where she, like, gets stabbed in the legs trying to climb up a ladder, which I thought was pretty cool.
And then she crawls across the roof and...
that part's stupid.
Yeah, and you know, beats on a window trying to get help and basically just bleeds out. You know, honestly, it didn't fit with this show because it's not a realistic show, but... Getting stabbed in the femoral artery is a death sentence.
Right.
And even if he wasn't the killer, he or she wasn't intentionally going to kill her, that's a way that somebody would die. Right. So she got stabbed a couple of times in the side, but he got her right in the femoral artery, and I liked all the blood, sort of like the huge pool of blood spreading around her.
Then the killer, just leaves her to bleed out. She then gets a call as she's dying from Jamie Kennedy. So he's on FaceTime as they die, which I take as... The person cuts the back of her leg. She starts to climb up there, and he's like, oh, shit, that's going to kill him. I have to call Jamie because Jamie was like, why did you call my fucking girlfriend away? I was just about to get laid. And it's like, well, we have to kill her because of this. And he's like, well, at least let me watch her die. Make sure you tell me so I can FaceTime and watch her face as she dies. So the killer cuts that and is like, shit. That's why it doesn't follow onto the roof. Goes down and calls him and be like, call her right now. She's about to fucking bleed out.
That would be really cool because Noah's the only character that I've actually developed any affinity for. So if...
But see, this is also... That brings me to my point why I like the show is I'm thinking what they're doing sideways and behind the scenes. And, like, it's all adding up to stuff that I really
The show, as of yet, hasn't given me the feeling that there's a lot of depth beyond exactly what I'm seeing. I've been rating the show so far. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be, but as 3 episodes in, it's still a show that I'll say that I like, with the caveat, for an MTV show.
Of course, right.
It still doesn't seem like a real show. It feels like an MTV show.
Right.
And so, therefore, it's like it's in TV slow class.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh... You're doing so good.
Again, I'll give you
green
that too.
from red.
Yeah. Again, I'll give you that too.
Yeah.
That is completely true. It's on a different learning curve.
Yeah.
And you would think, being that it's Scream, I would actually hate it because of how much it's not like Scream. But it's pulling enough cards in the beginning episodes, like beginning first one, kind of underwhelmed me quite a bit. That the fact that it's getting even just a little bit better, I give it so much credit when it even gets slightly better. I'm like, fuck yeah, we're going somewhere.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping for. I am getting very forgiving. I really did like this episode. I thought her death was handled surprisingly well.
Well, that's what happens when you kill a character that you actually kind of like.
Yeah, this
you know,
was gonna be
the
cool.
lesbian that got hung last episode We didn't know her from anybody, so
Right.
that death didn't mean anything. Riley was the first time that somebody got killed that we actually had come to know her a little bit.
Yeah, and
it
it's
made a big
starting to
difference.
get that screamness where you care about the people who are getting killed. Next episode, I would assume we're going to get even more Will, Jake, and Brooke to balance out everything else. Brooke is still by far my least favorite character. She's just so one note. But I do think also that that's what I'm saying. I also really like the whodunit because I'm trying my ass off to detective the shit out of this. And everybody has their motives. Like, Brooke, if you look when she's talking to the guy on FaceTime, she has a folder that says Nina on her laptop. I don't know, but so did Jake in the first episode, but his were the videos. So
Right.
why does she have a Nina thing? And we're getting a little bit more Brandon James stuff, and it's pretty good to go for me. I'm enjoying it. So I would say this was a good, and again, MTV scale.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. That's what I am judging it on. So yeah, it was a good 7, I would say. I liked it.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, which is what I gave the first episode. Now, I will also say that this was the best episode of the 3.
Yeah, it definitely was.
The first episode got a 5 out of 10 because I was giving it leeway for that one episode.
Sure.
Second episode didn't get any leeway. I think I gave that one a 4. This one is legitimately, like, on any scale, hey, this is an average show. Like,
yeah, right on.
There's potential there. Like, I haven't lost interest because it could kick into another
And
gear.
again, I understand you're like, this is average. I'm just so fucking happy that it's average because of how much I hyped it up and how much I really want to like it. That average, I'm fucking happy it's average. I'm over the moon that it's average. So I'm really enjoying it, and I spend way too much time fucking
Well, I
researching
I hope
and
the execs
analyzing
at MTV are listening because they're doing something right.
Oh,
'Cause,
I don't know about that.
Well,
I'm
they've
giving them a lot
got
of credit.
you. They've got you tied up in their web.
I'll give them this. Their whodunit is pretty damn good. Everybody is still a suspect, and everybody still has enough reasons, motives, and they keep... Unless it ends up being... We consider, I think, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer to basically be the worst slasher. Give or take.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
Next to, like, Cutting Class. In the end of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, it's Ben Willis. His last name in the movie was Benson. And he's like, get it? Ben's son? Like, that shit's literally in
Yeah.
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And the teacher's name is Branson, like Brandon Jones's son. Don't fucking pull that bullshit either. Another conspiracy, if you look really close from a trailer, there is a screenshot of a newspaper that says it's written by Alicia Haverland, and then there's a deputy Haverland who is like the 9th main character of the show, who we still haven't really even seen yet. So
Okay.
that could possibly be our killer too, but it could be anybody,
It really could be.
and that's what I'm loving about it. But I'm also, it was what you were saying. I binge watch, so I'm making myself enjoy the week to week by over analyzing and conspiracy.
That I've done that on tons of
This is
shows myself,
enjoyable as shit.
and it is fun. Yeah, I love that stuff.
I wonder if True Detective would be better if I wasn't spending all my free time like researching Scream. If I was researching True Detective and trying to figure out where this plot was going.
I think that
fucking
actually,
doubt it.
I think that says a lot that one of those two shows has gotten you interested enough to do that research, and one of those shows hasn't.
Which is so strange to me because, like, we love slashers.
Yeah.
And is it really just that bad that it doesn't even get your bad 80s slasher
Well-
love back cooking?
I'm also a fan of serialized storytelling, and as you actually cast greatly into words and made me understand why I'm not hot on this show, is because I'm not watching a show, I'm watching a movie that has been spread out over 8 to 10
Yeah,
hours.
and it's still playing that game.
I'm not fully on board because I don't know, it feels like a cheat to me. Do a show, do one thing that surprises me. You've had 3 hours, jump the gun on something.
Oh, and I think they
You know.
will. I think Audrey dies
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
So hopefully that will be coming. So this could get really good. It could be an okay movie with a good third act, and in this case, the third act is the last 3 episodes.
Well, the thing is, too, is movies do this, and if it is going movie logic, let alone its 10 episode structure, is that we're on 3. Episode 5 will be halfway. Ending of episode 5 is when we'll really know how big the balls of the show is.
Yeah. So all these reviews that I'm giving the show now, like the number rating, the way the show is being laid out, like as a movie, basically just longer, I'm going to have to wait to get to the end, because maybe those last 3 episodes will make me think, dude, this was worth it. Like, putting in this effort and sitting through these earlier episodes, this paid off, and it makes all the other episodes better.
Right.
Although, if it falls apart in the last couple of episodes, that's going to make me, like...
Oh, I know. I know.
Retroactively dislike him. So
Can you imagine how pissed off I'm going to be if I go through all this bullshit and it ends up being the sheriff and fucking hair guy?
Well, after Riley's death at the police station, I figure it has to be the sheriff and or his son. One of them has to be involved. Who else would kill somebody at the police station unless you were intimately involved at the police station and knew when you could come and go? I'm not saying that the show is going to make sense. It could go on slasher logic, and that's fine.
Right.
But that would actually make a little sense. Oh, well,
well, so would Deputy Haverland.
Sure. Whoever Deputy... I don't really know who that is, though.
Right. I took a screenshot. You get one shot of her in this last episode.
Okay, so she's not really a character
basically, it's
yet.
like, the black guy is his... like second-in-command guy who's always with the sheriff.
Right.
She's the woman.
Okay.
And so she would know, and she wasn't at the car blowing up.
Any of the cops would know, but you say that...
Well, it still fits into my whole thing that this Haverland
We've seen her,
lady,
but you seem to, know of her existence through research. But, through the show...
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but, through the show, she's not a character yet.
Right.
So they have to make her be a character, or else it's going to be, like you said, here's some random person that's the killer.
Yeah. But anyway, I liked it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's getting better. Amen to that.
It is getting better. So
I cannot wait for episode 4. I'm deep into this shit, motherfucker.
Awesome. Well, every Thursday night, we will have the new review of the newest episode of Scream. We're also doing ongoing reviews of True Detective Season 2. All of these are available on our YouTube channel.
Yes. We'll see you later here on The Horror.